Therefore, we use a manifold going into a PVC pipe. This is a PVC pipe that's already in the wall, and the other one will be the PVC pipe from some spare part that I still have. We will use a reducer to go from the bigger PVC pipe to a smaller hole, because our tubes from the osmosis system will have small tubes. Therefore, we need reducers to make it fit. Here we have a rubber reducer in a PVC pipe, and we will put this inside our 90 degrees turn. For this we will use some sort of glue. This glue we will use to make sure that we have a good bond between both of the pieces, so whenever there's pressure on from the water inside, that they won't come loose. The glue I'm using is just a PVC glue. It doesn't have to be this specific brand or this specific type. Just any PVC glue will be just fine. Just take a good amount of glue, put it on the inside of the turn you want to take, but also put it on the outside of the other piece that you want to push into it. This will secure a good seal. After we put the amount, just push them in together and push in firmly and make a small twist so you know that there is a good seal between both parts. Next we will take our waste pipe. This is something I still have laying around, so no need to buy something new. If you have something, just use it, it's fine. Here we're going to do the same, but to know for sure how deep we need to put it and where we need to put the glue, we will mark this PVC pipe first, so we're sure that it's in fully and we know that where we have to put the glue. As I marked it here, I will put some glue. I will put the glue again on the inside of the turn, but also on the outside of the other part. Again, this will ensure me that there will be a perfect seal and bond between both of the pieces. After I put the glue on both pieces, I will also put them inside of each other, making sure that I press them in deep enough so we can see our red marker line there, twisting it again so we are sure that it's in the way it should be. When that's done, we will take our inlet spout and we will have to add a rubber ring to it. This will make sure that when there's more pressure than wanted, this will make sure that there will be no leaks. Just firmly put it inside like this. Next we will take our ball valve, and we will attach this valve to our inlet spout. This to control the air, the water flow between the spout and the osmosis system. However, don't just attach them like this. We will need some Teflon tape, or in my case I had some rope laying around, just to make sure that we can have no leaks after we attach the system. Just take the rope, just pull it a little bit apart, and then put it outside on the valve. Make a few turns so you're sure that there's enough rope to go around. Next, take your inlet spout and just turn it onwards. Make sure that it's tight, as tight as you can, as shown here. The remaining rope you can burn off, or you can cut off for aesthetic looks. This is how your drain pipe should look like. Of course, this could be different for you, but this is my case. Now I will explain you how this reverse osmosis system works. This is just any osmosis, so we have 3 filters. First filter is a sediment filter. Then we will go to our carbon filter, that's step 2. And last we will go through the last filter, which is the 3rd step, and that's the osmosis filter. Here we have our inlet. This is where your tap water will go in. It will then go through the pump. This pump will boost it. Then we'll go through the first filter, the sediment filter. It will take out the biggest parts. Then it will go through the carbon filter, will take out most of the small parts, and then as last it will go through the osmosis. Out of the osmosis there will be 2 lines, one with the waste and one with the clean water. First we're going to attach the waste line. Take off the blue like little plastic thingy. Make sure to that which locks the tube in place. Pull back the white plastic ring and you can pull out the plug. Do the same thing for the pure osmosis water. Take out the blue plastic thingy, pull back the white ring, and then you can take out the plug. First we're going to insert our osmosis filter. Make sure you check the flow. So system goes in here, goes through the sediment filter, then goes in the carbon filter, and last but least comes at the top and goes into the osmosis filter. So that's the flow direction. So we'll have to put the filter from top to bottom. This is a wrench that came with this set, with this system. It's to make sure that you can open this osmosis filter. But first of all, we will need to disattach these tubes so we can open this canister. After deattaching the tube, I'm just making sure that I lock the other part again, so I won't forget that later on. Then I take the wrench to open the casing. This requires some force, but don't overdo it. Once it's open, fully unscrew the cap so we can insert the osmosis filter. Again, check the flow direction so you're sure how to put it in. My system goes from top to bottom, so I have to put it in like this. When you put it in, make sure that you put it in all the way. It needs to be fully in or it won't work. Usually it's when it's like leveled with the outside casing, that's when you know it's in how it should be. When that's correct, we can put on the cap again. Make it tighten it firmly. Use the wrench for this so you're sure that there will be no leaks. After you attach that, reattach the tubing from stage 2 filter into the stage 3 osmosis filter. Again, don't forget the plastic ring to lock the tube into place. Next we're going to take our tubes. We'll have 3 types of tubes. They are the same, but they have different colors. First one is for the tap water, it's white. The blue is for the pure osmosis clean water, and the red one is for the wastewater. First, we're going to start with the white tube. We want to put this in the inlet spout for our tap water. Again, pull out the clip, push it in, and lock it again with the blue. Pull it a few times so you know that it's secured. Next, we're going to start with drainage, the waste. As you can see, my model has a flow reductor, so we are 100% sure that we're not having too much wastewater. So now we attach the pure osmosis water. This is the clean water. This is the water we want, so that's why we mark it blue. Again, put it in and secure it. Same with the wastewater, put it in and secure it. This is how our system should look after these steps. So we go in from the bottom with the white tubing from the tap water. We go into the pump. This is optional because we can use the water pressure from the tap. Then we go into our first sediment filter. This is step 1. This will take out the biggest degree. Then we go into step 2. This is our carbon filter. And last but not least, we go into step 3, our osmosis filter. From there we go 2 ways. One is the waste and one is the clean pure osmosis water. Now we're going to mount our system to the wall. Therefore we have 2 holes at the top of our system. A tip that I use is take some masking tape, some painter's tape, put it on the full length of the part that you want so you know the width of the system. Next, take a marker and mark the 2 holes that you need to drill into the wall. Once you've marked them, you can pull away the tape, and this tape you can put on the wall where you want to drill it. This way you know for sure that it's wide enough and you know exactly where to drill. For aesthetics, I like to level my system, so I'm a bit of a control junkie by that. I want to make sure that it's like perfectly leveled, so like this you know for sure. Next, we will take our drill and we will drill these 2 holes. Don't go too deep because it's not so heavy, so we don't need to go like very deep. After both holes are drilled, we can pull away the tape because we know now where we need to be and everything is done. After that, we will put in 2 plugs in the wall. This will be needed for our bolts to get any grip in the holes we just drilled. Tap them in lightly with a hammer and pull away the tape. Clean off some debris that's still left from the drilling. Next, we take our washers. We have 2 washers and we have 2 bolts. The washer is to make sure that we have a good grip on the osmosis system. Take your system, put the washer and the bolt through it and put it in the first hole in the plug. Secure it with your hand and take in the next one and do the exact same thing. Then you can use a wrench to secure it. This is the only thing I had laying around, so this is what I use to secure my bolts. After you firmly secured it to the wall on both sides, you can check if it's sturdy. In my case, it's hanging pretty good. Next step is we're going to attach our drain pipe that we just made. Again, here we have to do the same thing. Take a marker, check how deep the hole is so we're sure that we have a good and secure seal. Mark it again on our PVC pipe. Again, take the glue. It can be any glue for PVC, doesn't matter. Apply a general amount on both sides, as well as the outside of the PVC pipe as the inside in the wall, to secure a good seal. When pushing it in, make sure that you twist a few times so you have a very good seal. Again, you know by the mark that it's in the way it should be. Next, we're going to cut our drain tubing to the correct size. When cutting, make sure you have some excess, so when you need to change something, you still have enough tube to go. I make sure that the tube goes deep enough to make sure that we have nothing that comes out at the top. Insert the tube into the drain pipe. Before we go, we have to turn off the water so we can attach our inlet. This is my main faucet in the home. I close it so I can open the faucet at the wall here. Use 2 wrenches to open it and make sure you have some bucket underneath it because there will be some leftover water in the tubing. Remove the old rope that were still on there and then attach some new one. Again, we do this to make a tight fit on the ball valve that we will install. This is the ball valve we installed earlier. Put it into your inlet, the tap water that comes from the wall, and again take 2 wrenches to make it secure. After we're sure that it's securely tightened, we can go back and reopen our main valve at the home to test if this system is actually getting some water. Open the valve slightly because there's a lot of pressure on these tubings. As you can see, if we open it fully, there's a lot of pressure coming out. Next up, we're going to set up our inlet valve. We take our white tubing and we again cut it to the length we want. Keep in mind again that we want some excess. If we ever wanted to change the system, we still have enough tubing to do that. Pull out the blue pin, put in the tube, and secure it again with the blue pin. Make sure it's tight. Now we can test our system to see if we have osmosis water coming out. When we open it first, there will be the drainage water because of course there's more waste than there's osmosis water. After 15 to 20 seconds, the second pipe, the second tube will show the clean osmosis water. As you can see, there's a lot more wastewater than there's osmosis water. This is natural because of course there's a lot more disinfectants in the water than there's clean water. We have a booster pump on our model. This will make sure that we have a bigger water flow. This is not necessary, but it's when you need more flow, as you can see, there will be more flow. When we pull it off, you can see that it's a lot less water coming out. So this booster pump is a plus. Here we can check again. If we put it in, you see that the flow dramatically changes. Next, we close our valve because we know the system is working and we can basically final set up our system now. I will now attach our waste tube into our drainage. Make sure it's deep enough so it cannot come out. Myself, I like to put some silicone on it so I'm 100% sure there will be no odor leaking out from the sewers. This way I'm sure that there's a perfect seal. I wipe off the excess silicone. It's not so well done. As a tip that I do for with all my stuff, if I have some system that comes with special tools, I always glue them to the system itself. This way, whenever I need them, I don't need to go search for them. Just tape them onto the system and you have them handy when you need it. Now we can test the system again. Tap water goes into the system from here, goes through our booster pump, goes through the first sediment filter. From there on, it goes to the second stage, which is our carbon filter at the bottom. And last but not least, goes through the osmosis where the cleaning goes. And then we have two tubes coming out. First being the pure and clean osmosis water, which is we want. This can go into your container. Second of all, it's the wastewater. This goes straight into the drain. I will show it here. It takes about 5 seconds for the clean water to come out, as you can see here. This particular pump is doing 190 liters a day. That's 50 gallons a day. When we activate our booster pump, however, we can boost that this osmosis water from 190 liters to 270 liters a day. Here you can see the difference when we put the booster pump on. As you can see, it dramatically changes. There's a lot more flow coming out of the tube.